Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good morning, my friends, and welcome to the Thursday edition of Traffic Report. My name is Joe. I'm coming to you live once again from beautiful, carefree Arizona. It is 9 o'clock in the morning in the Mountain Standard Time Zone. Obviously, that means it is 11 Eastern Standard Time in New York City, 8 o'clock in the morning out there in California. And for those of you who are dialing in from around the world, I want to wish you a good evening. If you're calling in from someplace on the other side of the pond, as they call it, or I hope you're still sleeping and enjoying your dreams down there in Australia and New Zealand. And welcome to the replay when you get up. I am the man with the microphone, kind of like the traffic cop, if you will, at Traffic Authority. My name is Joe, coming to you live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Monday through Friday. That's every single weekday. This Saturday, of course, we will have the Visionary Founders Hour. That's going to be coming to you live at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's the only time change, kind of throw you a curveball on Saturdays. Give everybody a little bit of a chance to, sleep in a little bit maybe. But 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, I'll be joined by Doug Wellens and Greg Chambers and their special invited guests. You never know what you're going to get on that day on Saturdays. We hear about the vision. We hear about the plan. We hear about the history. A lot of cool stuff takes place when we come together every single Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you have a note. Make sure that you put it into your calendar. And, you can always just dial in. For those of you right now who are listening to the live stream, we are streaming live at radioleverage.com. If you're listening to the live stream at radioleverage.com, I invite you to just pick up the telephone and dial into 914-338-0631. Today, you'll have a chance to have your voice be heard. Anybody in the world who wants to make a comment, ask a question, join into the party here, you have an opportunity to do that today. And over the weekend, like on Saturday, maybe you're away from your computer, right? Hopefully you're out there getting some sunshine or maybe doing some skiing. It's snowing up in northern Arizona, man. The ski resorts are already open up there in the Snow Bowl. And maybe you're out there enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the skiing, do what you do on a Saturday. Take the cell phone with you and just dial in. Mute it so we don't hear you driving and talking and laughing, and just have a listen, because it really is cool to listen to the founders and learn from the founders about what drives and what influences those guys every single day of the week. This place right now, for those of you who are brand spanking new, we are setting records, company records. Every single day we have hundreds of people, literally. We have thousands of people who are learning about our program every single day. About 100,000 people a week are being alerted to the, personally receiving emails, receiving traffic. About 100,000 people a week are being alerted to what is going on here. And what is going on here? Well, we're the world leader. Okay, I like to say this, right? We're the world, and for the benefit of those of you who are, let me go back. The benefit of those of you who are joining me today for the first time, or maybe listening to the rebroadcast for the first time, welcome to our community. We are growing exponentially. It's really, really exciting when you see what's going on here. So for the benefit of those of you who might be listening for the very first time this morning, I do want to welcome you officially to the virtual water cooler, the pit stop, whatever you want to call it, right? The virtual water cooler is my favorite. If you are working a job, if you ever worked in a cubicle or in an office, they got that water cooler over there in the corner, and everybody kind of got to get away from the desk, man. I need to stretch my legs. I think I'll go over to the water cooler. And you go to the water cooler and you talk about, what's going on and what was on TV last night and what's going on with your daughter's wedding plans. And then maybe you'll have a conversation about, what you're going to be doing on the weekend. The virtual water cooler, right? Well, that's what this is, really. This is an opportunity for you to come every single day as a Traffic Authority internet marketing professional, as an internet traffic broker. You do have an unbelievable opportunity. You are in business for yourself, for sure. But you're never alone, man. You're not by yourself, right? We're here. Every single day we're here live in person. And what I like to remind people of, what is the goal? What is the point of doing this every single day? Well, it is that opportunity to come up and connect and know that there are real people. You're not in this alone. But it's a place where you can come every single day. It's about education, motivation, and celebration. This is what is so cool. Usually we go for about 90 minutes here, sometimes a little longer, give or take. And we hear from people who are just chiming in, piping in, and sharing their story for success. Their story, their experience. It really is cool. And a lot of cool things are happening. We are the number one rated company right now, trending. The number one trending company on the internet right now. That's according to one of the independent associations. We post this stuff on the Facebook page, and we send it all the time to you guys in email. MLM Rankings is the company that has done the research, and they've identified the Traffic Authority as the fastest, number one trending internet home-based business in the world. How cool is that? And you can check it out. We have both on the Facebook pages. And check your email. We send you guys email with these kind of things that you can remind people and post it on your pages and send in your own email, right? Now, the response to the CAR program that was introduced day before yesterday, crazy, unbelievably crazy what's going on. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, for those of you who might be listening for the very first time, or maybe you would like to revisit it, or maybe you would like to send a link to your prospects, to people who are considering this opportunity. Because what you see there is massive growth. I'm going to talk in a moment about some other cool things. But if you're interested, or maybe you want to send an email, okay? You want to send something in the email. You want to send somebody a little bit of just like a teaser, like a carrot. Like, look at what we're doing. It's like, not only are we the number one ranked company according to MLMRankings.com, but the company just introduced a program that has car bonuses and travel and cruises and private charter jets. I mean, it's really, really cool, right? That webinar is at trafficweblive.net. Trafficweblive.net. There it is. It's still there. It's still running right now today. Trafficweblive.net. Had a lot of people watch that webinar. More people have watched it since it was live than when it was live. The replays are crazy, and it's because of every single one of us working together in concert to get the word out. And so, also on the Facebook page that's out there, there are so many posts on the Facebook page. It's crazy. It's sometimes a challenge just to keep everything posted right at the very top, right? To pin the post at the top, because so much new cool stuff is coming in. I was in there this morning looking at some of the Facebook posts, the testimonial posts, and it's like, phew, craziness, man. But my point is, if you want to have a look at really what the prizes are and what the rankings are and how you rank and how simple it really is to achieve rank and get cars paid for and stuff, those things are available on the Facebook page. Okay, just go dig a little bit more on the Facebook page and you'll find the links there to the documents, the images. We'll make sure that stuff is back up in your face. Okay, we'll send an email. I'll personally take responsibility for sending an email to all of you guys that has those links and put some copy in there so you can forward those things out. And speaking of copy, remember, if you are a member of the Traffic Academy, remember, in the Traffic Authority, you can just become a reseller. That's only $20, and then you can get your hands on the tools, and there's some commission payable for you in there, and that's an upgrade of $27. So now you're at $47 a month, and of that, $40 is paid out in commission, which is pretty cool, right? So, I'm sorry, $20. I'm sorry, please forgive me. $20 of the 47 is paid out in commission. And then there's an upgrade to the Academy, the Traffic Academy. And in the Traffic Academy right now, we've got this guy Darren who writes these killer emails, right? The emails that you see are written by Darren, and he teaches you how to write these emails. And his course material, which is available for purchase for $297, you can go buy it if you want to. Or if you become a member of the Traffic Academy, which is a $97 upgrade, you get it included in your monthly fee, right? So right there's a $297 product for $97 right there for you. And if you stay with us for 3 months, and I know many of you are going to stay with us for your life, but there's the value right there. And also, I will tell you, this coming Tuesday, I'm pretty sure it's the Insta Crusher. Got a young woman who is just a major major player on Instagram, generating leads like crazy, building her list using Instagram for free. And she has a course, and we're going to be introducing that next week. So stand by for that. We also got a LinkedIn guy who's chomping at the bit. He's rewriting his book because LinkedIn apparently has done a couple of things differently with what they do and how they screen stuff and, whatever is what I quickly want to say. But this is a guy who's an expert there, and he crushes it there, and he's next up in the queue. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming for you guys in that regard. But as far as email, here's my point. Here's where I was going with the whole, get yourself get yourself upgraded to a Traffic Academy is, you will learn how to really, really develop yourself and your skill to become a real-life internet marketing professional via email, using email. This morning I was going through some stuff I saw out there on the Facebook page, and I've got to say, William Matheson, how you doing? William, bread and butter. He's an English guy, right? And by the way, happy Guy Fawkes night to those of you who are calling in from the United Kingdom. But William he did a video. He was talking about the benefit of list building. He does a case study of an individual who contacted him who was currently making about $1,200 a month on the internet, and it was a cap, couldn't break through the $1,200 a month cap. And that person was inquiring about, what about this list building stuff? What if I build a list? And that's what the real action is here, is in the list building, right? That's really what takes place. So you have a list, you're building a list, and the fastest way to build your list is to buy some traffic. The Traffic Authority does have high quality, top tier. I spoke with the traffic acquisition manager yesterday on the telephone, and I said, dude, what's going on with traffic? Because it's really flowing, people are happy. He goes, the conversions are crazy right now. He goes, it's almost like we don't even want to talk about it because it's so over the top. The conversions are just like crazy. And many of you know that because many of you are buying traffic and running traffic and making money because the conversions are so good. So if you want to really, really build your list, then buy some traffic. You can buy a traffic package for a couple $100 and you get a couple 100 clicks. And in that couple $100, 100 of it is paid out in commission. And then all the way up on the other end of the spectrum is a diamond package, an $8,000 traffic buy. You get 8,000 clicks, and $4,000 is paid out in commission on that 8,000. Big, man, that's top tier money. That's some serious coin. And it's whatever pond you're fishing out of, that's the fish that you're going to catch, right? So if you're one of those big thinkers and you've got the resources and you're positioned at diamond, really, really cool things start happening. The paychecks really start growing at the diamond level. But back to my point. Here's my point. You got to have a list. You build a list, and then you have to monetize the list. And you monetize the list by, by the way, if you are a member of the Traffic Academy, you have access to some of these courses, so you can begin promoting those courses yourself and making money on those courses. That's coming. Stand by. But so you want to monetize the list, so you want to get better at sending emails. You want to send your own emails, and that's where the Darren course, the Traffic Boot Camp, the Email Boot Camp is going to be a great benefit for you. And then, of course, there's the premium upgrade for those of you who are Vincent Ortega Jr. I don't like to use the word junkies, but the guy's so good, right? You can get hooked on him, man, because he's just so powerful and he's so honest. He's a family man. He's a man of faith. He's just like this cool guy. Top earner here, number one earner. Well, for a premium, if you want to become a premium member, a premium upgrade gives you access to his personal sales funnels, his personal emails. All that stuff is available to those of you guys who are really, really serious. All right, quickly, I got a couple things. Shalane, I don't know if you're on the radio right now, but I want to thank Shalane this morning. Shalane lives up in Canada this morning. There was apparently a couple of people were wrestling with forwarding out the emails. If you looked at Facebook, if you received your email yet this morning, you see that we sent you guys a swipe file. What a swipe file is, that's the actual email. Those are the words that you send to your list to invite them to tonight's webinar. And apparently there was some problem. Shalane, and this is what I love about this community, right? A couple of people were posting saying, oh, man, I can't post. I can't send. It's telling me this is spam. I'm getting a red flag. What do I do? And I even said, hey, send in a support ticket. Then I was doing some more research, and there was Shalane. And Shalane actually took the time to call GetResponse in England and speak to a customer service rep there And that customer service rep told Shalane, yeah, we have a little bit of an issue. It's top priority. It's job number one. We do understand that some of you guys are being restricted from sending to your lists and blah, 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 and we're on it. And then Shalane brings that to the table. How cool is that? How cool. Thank you, Shalane, for that. I invited Shalane to come on to the radio show today. Hopefully she'll come out here and share a little bit about her experience. And that's what I call leadership, right? That's what I call let's get her done. You know, Shalane's like, I'm not going to sit here and wait for Joe or support or Carl or somebody to give me an answer. When I got a telephone right there, it's my business. I think I'll take personal responsibility for my result, pick up the phone, and get her done. Oh, Canada. I love Canada. Thank you, Shalane. Also, there's a dude out there by the name of Terrell James Rife. I saw what Terrell, if you're listening right now, I saw what you're doing on your Facebook page. I saw how you're just posting a question. Hey, man, I got something really cool, a webinar tonight by one of the top guys making a ton of money. Would you like to, if you would like an invitation, hit me up. Something like that, right? And I'm paraphrasing what Terrell said. But that's basically, Terrell was asking people, hey, man, I got something really cool tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, got a guy who's going to be just rocking it, crushing it. You know, if you really are serious about, some turnkey income, hit me up and I'll send you the invitation. And I saw this like, boom, boom, boom. Hit me up. Invite me. Where do I go next? It's like, whoa, pretty cool, huh? Congratulations, Terrell. Job well done. I love when I see people who are just like out there, doing things and taking responsibility, because that's really what it boils down to. You are in business for yourself, right? You own your own business, man. And how seriously you take it will determine how serious it pays you. And I love when I see these individuals out there taking advantage of the opportunity, posting stuff and getting busy. Now, I'm going to open it up here in a minute, so get ready for those of you who are listening online. You are listening to Traffic Report. You can call into 914-338-0631. Pick up the phone if you want to talk, if you want to ask a question, if you want to make a comment. 914-338-0631 to all of you guys who are listening to the live stream right now. When you call in, you'll hear a lovely British female inviting you to press 1 if you want to speak to the host. That's me. I'm the host, the Dancing Bear. So that's what you do. We'll get there in a minute. Before I get there, though, here's the other thing I want to say. Tonight's webinar features Devon Brown. For those of you guys who have been around since the very beginning, I also have a special treat for those of you who have been here since the very beginning, the pre-launch people. In a minute, I'm going to tell you what is the special treat that we have for you. So stand by for that. But for those of you who have been here since the very beginning, you know that the name, if you look at the leaderboard, okay, if you ever look at the leaderboard, who made money yesterday, who made money last week, who made money last month, who in history since the beginning, who's made money, have you ever seen Renegade? I think it's called Renegade Success LLC or something, Renegade. Well, that's Devon Brown. He's the Renegade. Devon Brown has a wonderful story, and he will tell it tonight on the webinar. As a matter of fact, tomorrow morning, the first person who can tell me what was the name of the college that Devon Brown was the mascot for will win a prize tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what the prize is because I don't know what the prize is going to be yet, but so there's a little quiz we'll do for tomorrow. Let me make a note so I remember. Okay, so tonight, Devon Brown's school. Okay, so tonight on the webinar, Devon Brown, he's just like really, really cool. He is smooth. He is confident, and he has got a way. This is his personal approach, his personal webinar for his group. He's got an expanding group. He's in the top 10 of all time. Renegade. This guy's really cool, and he's been on some of our webinars. I've had him as a featured speaker on a couple of the webinars. He was on the original pre-launch webinar that we did, and tonight he is going to come out, and it's really, really cool. I've seen the work and the way he tells the story, the way he positions people. His language and his storytelling ability. It allows people to make an intelligent decision in the moment. It's no hype, no pressure. It's no bluster. It's just cool. And so I'm urging you guys to really, if you've already, obviously all of you guys are members. I'm going to ask you, the other thing I want you to do is go and register for tonight's webinar. And you know how to register, right? topsecretmeeting.net/your username. Right? Your username. That's whatever your username is. And then you'll be registering for the webinar, and you'll get credit for your own sale. But the reason you have to invite people to the webinar using that topsecretmeeting.net/your username, uppercase, that's where you put your username, whatever it is. Joe, Mallory, Shalane, Greg, money for me, I love you, send me some cash. Whatever your username is, it goes in there. And when you do that, what will happen is that person who registers using your username will be married and attached to you forever as a prospect. And at some point in the future, should they decide to get started, and you might be doing something else, the other day we heard Freddie Jr. was sleeping, and boom, shakalaka, he's making money while he's sleeping. And this is the way this stuff works, right? So make sure that you're using your username, because when someone buys, it might be in a day, a week, or a month, boom, shakalaka, you'll make money and you'll get credit. Now, here's what I would like you guys to do today. You register for the webinar yourself, okay? You register. And here's why, because when you register for the webinar, there's something brand new that's been added there. It's a video. It is really, really cool. Kara, you're in the video, as a matter of fact. Kara's in there. It's really, really cool. Okay, so when your guest registers, they're reminded that there's a webinar coming. Okay, and thank you, Carl. I'll make a note of that. Right. So here's the deal. Right. So when people opt in, when you opt in, you'll be reminded that there's a webinar tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, Thursday night at 8 p.m., and then a video will play. And this is brand new. This just went live this week. There's a video, and the video is engaging. There's a voiceover guy. I'll let you guess who does the voiceover on the front. And then it's a series of videos, and it's testimonial videos, and it's people who've made big money, and people who made their first 100, people who've made their first $50, their first $300, and then there's some other mindset stuff that's thrown in there, and then there's some more testimonials. It is really, really, really a cool piece, because it's about engagement, right? So now when somebody registers for the webinar, they're seeing some cool stuff. We're setting the table, right? And it's all by design. And the reason I share this with you guys is because I want you to know that your investment in your business, okay, you're a member of the Traffic Authority. If you're all in, all the way in, it's $197, $194 a month, less than $50 a week. And when you take a look at that webinar, okay, so today, take a look. Okay, what are you getting for your money? Well, you're getting all that new technology that by design, by scrutinizing every detail, analyzing every single conversion and what's going on out there in the world with all this data, subtle changes were made. And now we've included this really cool introductory video, asking people to bookmark the page to make sure they're there tonight on time. That's all. And then you take a look at the Devon Brown. This guy crushes it, right? This is a top 10 earner. This is his little private little way. This is how he explains the Traffic Authority opportunity to people. And so dig it, man. So now all of a sudden this is showing up in your world tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. While you're doing what you do, whatever it is, hopefully you're doing your thing. You do the thing, as we say every day, and then you're going through life. You're spending your time with your family, with your kids, with your parents, whatever the case. You're at yoga, you're at tennis, you're playing golf, whatever it is you're doing. There's a team of people behind the scenes who are scrutinizing every single lesson, every single message, and seeing how can we refine it to make it better. How cool is that? So go and register. There's some new stuff for you, right? That's what you're buying. You're buying growth. You're buying vision. You're buying people who are continuing to improve the experience. Now, here's what Carl just said to me. Carl said, we still see some links coming in that are literally trafficauthority.net/your username. Okay, so remember, where it says, wherever you see your username, like topsecretmeeting.com/your username, whenever you see that, make sure that you remove those words, your username. Remove them and replace them with your username. Thank you for pointing that out, Carl. All right. Before we get to it, we're going to open up the lines here in a couple minutes. And Holly, I know that you're online. And Holly, I know that you've yet to receive a personal email from me this morning. And the reason is because the special announcement, the special treat I have for you guys. Now, I looked this morning, I sent the email out to the whole group, and it was really moving slower than I like to see it move. And here's the reason, though. Here's why it's moving a little bit slower today. And Holly, I haven't received the email that I need to forward to you. Here's the reason why. Now, for those of you who have been here since pre-launch, on August 5th, we opened up the doors. And then we stumbled around like a drunk sailor on leave for a couple of weeks because we take imperfect action, man. We just do it, right? We just went out there and did it. We had a lot of stuff that was, still not up to speed, and coding and all this kind of stuff was going on. But in the meantime, while all that was going on, I think in the first 30 days we put north of 50,000 people into our pre-launch phase. And it was a free membership, granted, okay? But it was cool, right? All of a sudden, we're just, a handful of guys sitting in front of computers, Skyping each other, and the next thing you know, we got 20,000 people in the VIP mastermind, and we got hundreds of people a day, and we got all of these people, tens of thousands of people who joined our company in pre-launch. They became pre-launch members. Every single one of those individuals was brought to the table by someone else in the Traffic Authority. They're all attached to someone. So as far as the webinar is, as far as tonight, I personally sent out 55,000 invitations to this evening's webinar with your username. Okay, technology is really cool. There's some default stuff in there, and when you really start getting into how GetResponse works, I mean, it's so cool, some of the stuff you can do. So we sent out 55,000. I actually was closer. It was about 60,000 emails today, inviting people to tonight's webinar. And when people click, and it's the same exact email that I sent to you guys in the swipe file. Okay, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? The things that we ask each and every one of you guys to do to build your business are the only things that we do each and every day to build the business. We engage. We're on Facebook. We send email. We do posting. We talk to our warm market. What we do to build the company is only what we're asking you to do to build your business. So this morning we sent out the exact same email that right now, the swipe file that's sitting in your email, or it is sitting in right now. It's on Facebook. It says It says right there. I can't remember. Attention, please. Attention. Look at this. Do this. Before you do anything else today, send the second of the 3 files that you'll find here. Boom shakalaka. Do the thing. Well, today we spent. This morning I even forgot to have my breakfast. I was sitting here going, whoa, I'm feeling a little wobbly here. Oh, it's because I've forgotten my yogurt and my banana because I've been sitting here for the last 90 minutes doing the thing. But here's the cool thing, right? So 60,000 emails this morning. That's the first batch. And every single one of those 60,000 people is attached to someone. Hopefully, if you were here back in the very beginning, some of you guys are getting some cool work done here today, right? Because we sent a link, and in the link it says click here to register for tonight's webinar, and there's some little secret code in there, and there's some technology stuff that will know if that individual is linked to anybody who's currently active in the company. How cool. Always working for you. All right. I gotta get to you guys right now. One last thing. Tomorrow morning, we'll be here tomorrow morning again for sure. Tomorrow morning is a recap day. I love Fridays because we recap and we talk about what did we learn this past week. So make sure that you make a point to get here tomorrow. Make sure to get here every single day. Right now we got a handful of people who are in the queue. So here's the deal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say the last 4 digits of your telephone number, and then I invite you to come out and state your first name, the city, the state, the country that you're calling in from, and then just let her rip. Just let us know what you're thinking. We're here to educate, motivate, and celebrate. And then if you do have a technology question, I was on the phone last night again late. I got a phone call late last night. We were talking about, the conversation was specifically about the customer service side, the support tickets and all those things. And I was really, really excited to hear that these support tickets, if you have an issue, they're usually getting handled in 24 hours or less. Sometimes people are getting turned around in 4 hours, sometimes less. So if you have a support issue, please send in a support ticket to support@trafficauthority.net and be patient, okay? I know that some of you guys, I know that you have things. I know Frank, I know that you're looking for a call, and I know Holly that you have some things that you've been dealing with. So just be patient with the support desk, okay? Because those guys are really, really efficient right now. So, but in the meantime, if you do have a question, I'll do my best to answer it. So here we go. Are you ready? Good morning, Holly. I know that you're first up. 5232.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning to everyone on the call. This is Holly calling Los Angeles. How is everyone doing?
I can speak for myself, Holly. I'm doing great. You're the first person to come out, so how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Pardon my voice. I have a cold. So I have someone who's extremely interested. His name is Jody. He may be on the call. He just sent me a text message saying that he's having difficulty getting in, that the lovely British woman's outgoing message basically mentioned something about waiting 30 minutes in the queue. And I texted him back and I said, I've never had that happen before, so I'm not familiar with that. But, I mean, maybe it could be that the lines are jam-packed because so many people are calling in.
You know, that could be. I'll tell you, yesterday I was so excited because I do get reports, right? I see things, and yesterday I got the report from the Blog Talk Radio, the Radio Leverage, and it was a record-setting day. We had more people join us yesterday than any single day since we've been doing this. So, yeah, maybe, I don't know what the lovely British lady is saying about time in the queue, but Jody, if you're listening right now, welcome, and you're working with a stud here, with a lady stud, Holly. Holly, I'll get you your email as soon as I can, okay? Because it's moving slow. I didn't even receive mine yet, but I know they're running.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Jody. Feel better, okay? Feel better, Holly. Feel better, okay?
Oh, thank you. I will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Jody, if you're listening, get back to Holly. She's got some magic she wants to share with you. 9190, you're next up in the queue. Good morning.
Good morning, Joel. This is Earl Teets, the Mountain Man out of Troy, Montana. And man, am I excited for tonight's webinar. You know, being around a home business industry, I guess 20 years, in and out of direct sales and network marketing and affiliate marketing, and I really never dove into the internet with everything I had until this traffic authority program came to pass. And of all the things I've seen out there, I've never seen anybody succeed as much as what this company's got. People coming in with no experience that are able to follow simple instructions like a daily marketing plan, do what it says, get on these radio shows, invite these people to these webinars, and we're seeing success like I've never seen before. And I know that sounds like a bunch of hype, but really, I mean, you've been in the industry a long time, Joe. I know you're probably seeing things you've never seen before, but if ever there was a time to take action and just follow what's here, recognize it's not just one person or one little tiny clique of people. We're all working together here to help one another succeed. We got this mastermind radio call every day, Monday through Friday. There's just so much here to be thankful for and blessed to work with. And really the best thing I could say to anybody is just grab onto this thing like your life depended on it. Run with it with everything you got, because you're only going to get out of life what you put into it. And if you put your all into traffic authority, you're going to be real glad about what happens to you. I don't know what else to say other than that today. I'm just kind of excited to be here, Joe. Looking forward to tonight's webinar.
Hey, Earl, listen, I want to thank you for coming out here today, and I am looking forward to tonight's webinar. It is lean. It is clean. It is less than 60 minutes. The call to action is epic, and I'm predicting a lot of people are going to be very, very happy at the end of the webinar because we're going to see so many conversions. But, Earl, listen, I just want to check in, man. How's your mom? How did the travels go? Is everything cool?
Yeah, everything is definitely cool. I mean, I filled up a 26-foot U-Haul and drove it 600 miles. Yesterday, I emptied that 26-foot U-Haul, and today I'm going to cry like a baby, man. I'm sore.
Well, thanks. You're a good boy, man.
Light.
Yeah, you're a good. Your mom is happy, man. She's got to be very, very pleased with you, how you turned out as a man and taking care of her and taking care of business and showing up and representing. You are an awesome character, Earl, the Mountain Man. You really are. Thanks for coming out here today.
God bless you guys. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. There's Earl checking in. This is either England or Myrtle Beach on the line right now. Good morning.
This is Frank from beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The sun is shining, and it's a great day to play in traffic. Good morning, Joe.
How are you this morning?
I am blessed and highly favored, and I want to brag on tech support just a little bit.
Please.
You told me to go ahead and put in a ticket, and I told you I didn't want to do a duplicate ticket, but I did have another little issue pop up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm signing up a longtime friend of mine who's been following me for years and years, and I signed her up yesterday, and I literally was right there with her, and lo and behold, she did not show up in my back office. And I said, I wonder what happened. So I put in a little ticket, and less than 4 hours later, boom, there she was.
Mm-hmm.
So they are definitely crushing it. They are definitely on the ball. Thank you,
yes.
Tech support.
And you want to know something? I'll tell you, because I'm a critic. I'm a gargoyle. You know what a gargoyle is? That monster that sits up on the right. And so I'm kind of like, I'm the people's guy, right? I'm here every single day, and I get to be in the good news space, right? I get to work with the individuals out here in the field, and it's always good news, and and you guys are so awesome, and Holly and Earl, and we got all these people in the queue this morning, and so I'm sometimes like I'm like an angry bear. I get on customer support, and I'm like, what's going on with you guys, and how could this be happening? And they're like, hey, dude, there's so many moving parts, and we're still, the clay is still setting. It's like when they pour a sidewalk or a driveway, it takes time for this stuff to settle. And they said, well, these issues, there's few and few. Sometimes they're related. Something is going on. We're doing an enhancement, and that little bit of work will have some kind of a trickle down effect. And so I get on them, and I'm so pleased with the volume of work and the quality of work. And I know right now somebody just sent me a clapping hands and a thank you, Frank, for edifying and letting the world know that this team is working, really, really working for you, man.
All right, that's what I had to say. That was my point today. I just wanted to edify the support guys. They're doing their job, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Frank from Myrtle Beach. Checking in. Thank you very much. 9353, you're next up in the queue. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Joe. This is Donald here in Omaha. You're a 73-year-old redneck checking in.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Hey, I'm
What's
doing
going
good.
on this morning?
This must be the customer support good day, because I'll tell you what, I have nothing but great things to say about these guys. I specifically want to call out James Yan in that department. I talked to you a few days ago about setting up a domain and all that. You gave me some good guidance. I did that, and so I was concerned about getting that done. So I sent a request in, and I get this email back right away, and it's all taken care of, all done for you. Didn't have to do anything. It's great. Had a couple other little items, and those are also taken care of. And so in my lifetime, I've owned service organizations. I've built companies from scratch and sold them. And I tell you what, these guys humble me. It's the way they respond and get things done. So congratulations. I know they were down in the dumps for a while with a big workload, but boy, they're out of it. Looking good.
Thank you very much.
Enticement for it.
Donald, these guys and I, again, really, really do appreciate it. And for those of you who are joining us maybe for the first time, we came through some choppy waters. We launched the company on, well, actually, it's been a long time. The actual beta testing began well over a year ago now. But in this current version came live in August, and we had, like I said, 50,000 people in 30 days, and they all had issues. Everyone had an issue, right? Because stuff was still coming to life, and people are impatient, and you know how that stuff goes. And at one point, that support desk was literally under siege, and they've done just a remarkable job. My hat is off to everybody on the team, especially Doug Wellens. This guy's up late into the night, making sure everyone is happy. And this is a cool phone number, K Snyder 24. Somebody calling in, I think, on Skype.
It's Kim Snyder. How are you? From Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Kim, and I'm looking right now. You're the. This was weird. I knew it was you because I get phone numbers in this thing, and there it says K Snyder 24. I'm like, whoa, that's unusual. How are you this morning, Kim?
I'm good. I don't usually call in from Skype, but I'm actually in my office right now instead of at my home. I'm good. So, I usually you give lots of things to launch off of, so I'm just going to launch off some of my own stuff. So,
okay.
we talked yesterday about the why, and mentioned about when the why is bigger than you, you'll do whatever it takes. And so what's going on for me right now is I have a really sick pony. And I mentioned that horses were one of my big whys. And so how hard do you think I'm working? Really hard, coming out of my comfort zone. So I was there during pre-launch. And yes, there was lots of stuff going on. And this is the thing. You said it. You were doing imperfect action. I'm doing imperfect action. I don't even know all my way through all of this stuff. And I have pretty good knowledge of internet marketing. But if you don't take some imperfect action, nothing's going to happen. If you wait till everything's perfect, and that's what holds people back, it's not going to happen. So I want to just say a quote for you. This is actually from Brendon Burchard. Never limit the vision you have for your life based on your current circumstances or competencies.
I love it. I really, really love that concept. I really, really do, and I'm a fan of Brendon Burchard, for real. And, this idea of just taking imperfect action, just taking imperfect action. I asked the question many, many times, Kim. I asked, was Rome built in a day? And the answer to that is obviously no, it wasn't built in a day. And if people were waiting for Rome to be built, there wouldn't be anybody living there, because they're still working on it. Rome still isn't done. You know what I mean?
Nothing's ever done. Nothing's
Correct.
ever done. Tony Robbins says, and I'm a big Tony Robbins person. Tony Robbins always says you're either growing or you're dying.
Right.
So I'd much rather be growing. So I'm always taking imperfect action in everything in my life. And so think about that. And if you don't, so something that holds people back is, well, I don't have any sales yet. I don't have any success yet. What do I tell people? You know what? Borrow someone else's story. It's all over Facebook. Go to your leadership, whoever brought you in. Take a look at what other people are posting. Talk to them. Ask if you can borrow their story. Borrow their story. Borrow their success, and because people are posting success. Whenever I started anything new in my life, when I first became a business coach, I had lots of stories about my other career. When I first became a business coach, I had to borrow other people's stories about the success rate on business coaching because I hadn't built a statistic for myself yet. And that is very powerful and you're letting people know you're borrowing someone else's story. It's like, let me tell you about what my colleague is doing. I'm just starting, but she's been in a few weeks longer than I have. Let me tell you what she's doing. Let me tell you the success she's getting, or he. And it's as simple as that, to borrow someone else's story.
It is, and it's valid. It is valid as long as you're transparent. I've heard that concept of fake it till you make it, and I disagree with fake it till you make it, but I do agree with, being transparent. And if somebody says to me, how much money have you made? My response is, does it really make a difference how much money I've made? And quite frankly, you wouldn't believe me anyway. Because you wouldn't believe me anyway if I told you how much money I made. But my point is it's not about how much money I make. It's about how willing are you to learn. And then we do rely on other people's stories. I often talk about Greg Chambers. When people want to know about traffic and how have I done with traffic? Well, I'll tell you this. I'm a little green, but I'm working with this guy who was there at the beginning. He was a traffic broker. Greg Chambers, who is the primary guy. He is the traffic acquisition manager. He's a co-founder. Greg Chambers was in the traffic business before the internet. Literally, okay? We weren't using the internet to market and sell products. When I met Greg Chambers, it was at a conference in Cancun, Mexico, and he was making available to people, leads. And he was getting those leads by running classified ads and doing all kinds of stuff in order to, radio and doing this stuff to get names and phone numbers of people who are looking for business opportunities. So I can honestly say, yeah, I'm green, but guess what? I'm partnered up with a guy who was there at the very beginning, and that's valid.
Absolutely, and I've done the same thing with Rebecca Bardas, and God bless Rebecca, for she's been there. She's been there since the beginning too, and I borrow her story, and she graciously tells us to borrow her story. So leverage off of people's stories. Yeah. So that's
and thank you, Kim. The other thing I will say, and this is what is really, really, and let me just preface this, was like I was late to the game when it comes to social media and Facebook. I used to think that Facebook was the Antichrist, right? It was like, it's just a time waster, and there's no monitoring, and there's no truth, and it was just, to me, it's been like, oh, please. And Twitter, and I was one of the, when these programs came out, I was like jumping right on it. You know what I mean? We were doing Facebook trainings in 2005, 2006 when it first came on the scene. And then I was like, oh, this is nothing but a time waster. Let me go back to doing what I know. And that's like conference calls and, doing some very, very basic fundamental things. And then later I was like, I better pay attention. You know what I mean? And so now I'm paying attention, and I'm really working with Adam Whiting and some of this other team that's assembled here. It's remarkable, that power and the transparency of social proof. And if you have like the Facebook page that we have for Traffic Authority, there is so much social proof. If someone says to you, ladies and gentlemen, what kind of a result are you having, send them to the Facebook page and say, it's not about me. It doesn't make any difference what kind of results I'm having. It's what kind of results are you capable of producing if you can do these simple things. And go check out these hundreds of testimonials of people who are making their first $10 and they're excited out of their minds. They're making their first $200, $300, $500. For most people, $500 a month could be life changing. You know what I mean?
It could. Yeah.
Yeah, it most certainly is. All right, listen, Kim, thank you very much. I'll let you slide. You always engage me, Kim. This is what I call engagement. Whenever Kim comes out here, she gets me always thinking and talking, and so many of you guys do the same thing as well. Good morning, 1758. You're next up. Hello, 1758. All right. Your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. 1758 has got the TV running in the background. Now, shame on you, 1758. Whoa, 9226. I'm going to come back to you there. I got a lot of feedback there. I'll come back. Let's go to 4866. You're next up.
Hello, Joe. This is Roger in San Antonio.
Roger, how are you today?
I'm pretty good. I wanted to give a thank you to the young lady that does your training videos, especially about doing the domain, because I set one up yesterday. It was very clear. I had a little trouble, but it worked out well. But I wanted to ask if there's many people that are doing domains, and how much is that helping them as far as not using those long Traffic Authority links?
Well, I will tell you this. We'll see if anybody wants to chime in. And thank you very much, Roger. Thank you for the nice words for the people who work behind the scenes building those training videos. And if anybody wants to respond to Roger as we move through this morning, talking about the benefit of using what I call, this is my own term for it, my own word, is vanity domains. Vanity domains. Okay, because it's vanity. And I'll tell you that I personally have a whole bunch of them. I probably have 100 domains that I have registered for our business, right? I mean, Traffic Web Live, Traffic Web Now, Radio Leverage. Those are all, every one of these, if you ever saw the long tail URL for the webinar, it's like so long, you can't believe it. And it's all these different uppercase, lowercase, dash, $, question mark, ... 0 dash. It's like crazy. It's like, how am I supposed to tell somebody this? So I just went out and I got trafficweblive.net. And what I do every single week is I just copy and paste that long URL that's about a foot long, and I go into my GoDaddy account and I redirect. Okay, so when anybody goes to trafficweblive.net, they're going to that webinar, which has got about 50 characters in the long tail URL. So it's very, very effective. And one of the things that you will learn, again, stay into your training, Roger, your traffic optimizer, you're talking about really how do you do multiple campaigns, and you can actually have unique URLs for specific campaigns. Like if you're running something on Facebook, or if you're running an Instagram, or you're doing an email, or you're doing a text message, you can actually track what is working for you by utilizing those vanity domains. And so yes, job well done. And you hit the nail on the head, Roger. All the tutorials are there. The video is there. And the cool thing about the videos and the tutorials is anybody in the known universe who has got, you know, enough vision and enough courage to say yes and become a member of the Traffic Authority, no matter where they are, no matter who their sponsor is, there is enough training and there's enough video and there's enough stuff in there that really will give you the benefit of, you know, I can start this business in the middle of the night, even if Roger is sleeping in San Antonio, right? 0618, you're next up. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, my beloved brother and sister ninjas. How is everybody doing?
We're rocking and rolling here this morning, Gilbert. Everybody's in a good mood today. How about you?
I'm in a fine mood today. I looked in my back office. I got another lead, and it's really beautiful. Traffic Authority really works. I mean, yesterday I had like 3 pages of leads in my back office, yellow pad pages. Today I got another page. I've got 4 pages of leads. I'm not sure exactly what to do with them. I know I'm sending them the emails that you suggest that we send them, and I sent out mine this morning to my whole list, and I'm expecting positive results. But I just want to say, I mean, Traffic Authority is huge. It's the #1 program that MLM Ranking Magazine has ranked Traffic Authority as #1 in the whole world. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that if you want to start a home-based business and you really want some integrity, transparency, really solid training that's going to take you to the next level, that Traffic Authority is the place to be. So it is working. It's working for me. And I know as I begin to be more and more focused than ever before, the results will be, I'll get higher and better results as I move forward. So I just wanted to say thank you, Joe, for your motivation, your stories, for keeping us moving forward. Thanks so much, Joe.
Gilbert, thank you very much. And you said a word, and I wrote down the word, and you said expecting. You're expecting results. The expectation of results is critical. That's a whole nother training for a whole nother day. It's about the law of attraction. But let's go to 1650. You're next up in the queue. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Barry in Tucson here. How are you?
Barry, I'm doing great. How about you, man? What's going on today?
Doing great. Doing the thing. Sent out one email. Got another one worked up here. I sent the other one out a couple hours ago. Getting another one ready here while we're talking. Send out and then add that MLM rankings thing in there again, just as a reminder and some proof for them, you know. Stuff like that. Just doing the thing and listening in, and you know, that's about it.
That's all there is to it, my friend. That's all there is to it. And, you know, one of the things, if you remember way back, and you guys can go and you can see it's actually running right now, Traffic Web Now, NOW. I think that's where we have the original training with the Darren, the email ninja. And if you remember, he actually talked, Barry, in that little bit of we had him out there as a guest, and he threw out the F-bomb, actually, which I thought was pretty cool, but pretty funny. But if you remember, he talked about, you know, his day. He gets up in the morning, he does some things, he's got his regimen, he works out, he does his exercise, and then he sits down and he hammers out his email. And then it's done. Then he's done. And that's what it is. You know, every single day, just do it every single day. 21 days, they say, you can create a habit. And before you know it, you're sending your email every single day. And then what happens is, because it's a habit and you understand really what you're doing, you're communicating with people with your experience in life. And that's what he talked about. Remember, he showed one of his actual, you know, he was motivated by Ronda Rousey, the fighter chick, right? And he was motivated by her, and he wrote an email about what he experienced from her experience. And then if you remember, a couple weeks ago, we had Gary Chappelle out, and Gary talked about the video that we have at the registration page, you know, the Apollo 13 video. It reminded him of something in his life, and he included that in an email that he sent out to his group. And this is what I'm talking about, personalizing, and then you get into the rhythm. And before you know it, your emails they're not canned stuff. It's you communicating with a list of people, and before you know it, you know, some will, some won't, and before you know it, you have a responsive opportunity going there. Barry, thanks for calling in. Good morning. This is somebody calling in on all ones. Ace. Good morning, 111, calling in on Skype.
It's your English Rose here, and Bard, Rebecca Bardess.
And let me tell you something, Rebecca. Today I was actually taken back by your story on I saw your Facebook. It was a very long story talking about your experience here, okay? Talking about gratitude. I mentioned it earlier. Like, I didn't know that Guy Fawkes Night was tonight in England, and that is the foundation of the concept of Thanksgiving. I learned so much from you today, Rebecca. How the heck are you? What's going on?
I'm fine. I was thinking that might be controversial. I'll throw that in there. Hey, we came up with Thanksgiving first, but
I don't mind.
Yeah, but of course it failed here. The idea that it's Thanksgiving, it's not. It's complete anarchy. But yeah, no, it's good. Things are very good, and everyone is so excited about this new development with the cars and the yachts and the jets and stuff. I got this whole in our little team group. I've got this vision board set up, and anyone who's building a team, do this. If you've got a Facebook group for your guys or whatever, just pin a post and say, right, this is our vision board, because there's something about other people seeing your vision that's really, like, we can hold each other to it. So everyone's posting, like, this is my car I'm going to get, and this is the house I'm going to live in, and this is my swimming pool that I'm going to have, and this is all of this stuff, and it's fun. And, I really recommend that people do that, because, yeah, you guys could have just given cash bonuses, but there's something about it helps people visualize. They're looking through that and they're thinking, oh, right, okay, yeah, I could upgrade. I could get a better car. I could get a better house. I could go on more holidays, more vacations. I could, get my own, get access to a private jet or something. I mean, it just takes people, I think, from a visionary perspective, you also need to take yourself out of your comfort zone. It's not just in terms of how much can I do or what feels comfortable. It's how much can I dream? Like, how much am I holding myself in place in this little mini vision that I think I've got? And really just push yourself. Take your vision to 11 is basically what I'm suggesting here. And I think you know that. It's like everyone needs to take their vision to 11.
And you're hitting some rank. I can see that. I look at the leaderboard. I see where you are, and in your posts, having some serious financial results there, and it definitely is awesome. And one of the things, now that I listen to you speak about the vision board, and even beyond that, really committing to what your daily method of operation is, have you ever noticed when we have a guy, for example, Adam Whiting, on a webinar, have you looked in the background behind Adam Whiting? You'll see there's a whiteboard, and he's got stuff written on there. And today I was looking at the video. I mentioned earlier today that there's a video that now plays when people register for the webinar tonight. When they register for the webinar, the page takes them to a video. And the video has, it's got some bullet points, and then it shows a bunch of testimonials. It's designed to engage people and give them another reason to show up, to bookmark the page. But there's a couple, like there's a guy in there by the name of Kit. And his was a phenomenal story. You see him on the leaderboard. And Kit, in his background, is a whiteboard, right? And so I'm looking, I'm going, success leaves clues. These individuals who do extraordinarily well, they're actually committed. They have a whiteboard. They're looking at their vision. They're looking at exactly, what it is that they must do on this day to accomplish their short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. Another thing I remember one day I was doing some work with a guy, and he pointed out, he said, when you get some time, he goes, maybe this weekend, for your vision, for your dreams, go look at $1 million homes. Go through the $1 million, $2 million, and you will notice that pretty much every $1 million plus home has a library. Every one of them, they don't just have a theater room or a TV room. There's just not like a bump room where you go shoot pool and play games. They have libraries. It's like success leaves clues. You commit to your vision. You actually put it in writing where you can see it in your office. There it is. And you look at some of the top earners. They've got it right there and they're up. There's the proof.
Yeah, well, don't just put it in writing. Actually commit a little bit more to it than that. I mean, if there's a car that you really want, actually go and see the thing. And if you can get if you can sit in it, if you can, I think I said one of the first calls I came out on, or it might have been one I just did for my group, but there was a period of time when I had some I was struggling with my vision a little bit a few years ago, and I thought, I'm going to take a day where I'm going to basically live my vision, and I don't care what my finances are, I'm doing it. And I went into this place. I went into all of these really high-end places in London that are so high-end that they basically have no customers. You look at them and nobody, people book appointments to go in. So there's these staff who are in there all day and they've got nothing to do. So I went into all these scary places and said, hey, can I check out your cars? And they were so thrilled because they had nothing to do. They're just sitting there waiting for billionaires to show up, for their appointments after hours. There's nothing for them to do. So I'm sitting there in Maseratis and all the rest of it. They're bringing me coffee and cake and stuff. So, don't be scared to look at this really high-end stuff, even if it's out of your price range right now, because a lot of time the staff have got nothing to do. You're doing them a favor by going in there, because they have to turn up for work just in case, there's walk-in traffic, right? So yeah, definitely do that. And, in terms of the house, I take my dad out. We go house shopping all the time for, ridiculous, crazy multi-million pound houses. We just go around and look when you make this much money, then what kind of size house are you going to get? Dad, do you know this area of it? Should we go there? Should I live over there? Yeah, let's do that. So you just make a game out of it. It doesn't have to be so serious. People get very, very, very serious about their dreams, and it's good to be intense about your dreams, but it's fun. Just have fun with it, and be kind of, since this is a day of conspiracy and, plots and so forth in terms of Guy Fawkes, there's nice ways to conspire. Be co-conspirators in vision. Be co-conspirators with the people you bring in. Let them tell you their vision. Share your vision. Co-conspire with each other to your best kind of levels of achievement. It's fun. It's a game. It's not so serious. There's actually a little something that I could share that might be helpful to people that I'm learning, because I'm doing some training with Tony Robbins at the moment and Chloe Medanis, and one of the things that I'm doing with them is to do with coaching training. And they said something the other day, and I thought, oh, that's so helpful for people building teams. And it was the fact that in coaching, people tend to fall into, your prospects or your kind of avatar tend to fall into customer mode or client mode. And customer mode, when someone's coming to you to work with you, and if you think of this in terms of the home business and team building, you'll get where I'm coming from. Customer mode, when people come to you, they're testing, they're in the position that I'm always right, I'm not kind of attached to anything, I'm looking around at everything, and, if there's anything wrong with this, I'm going to look at that, and they're jumping around, they're in shiny object mode, and a lot of times they're in the you prove it to me mode, and they're, in terms of joining a business, they're in the I want you to make me, you prove to me how you are going to make me a success. And a lot of times I see people getting into conversations with people who are in that energy. They kind of reciprocate, or they're kind of like, oh, yes, let me do every last possible thing. And actually, when someone's coming to you to potentially join your team, it needs to be more of an interview process. It needs to be more of a kind of, hey, guess what? I have inherent value, and so do you. So how can we co-conspire with this value so that we both do well? Which is a way more powerful kind of way of doing things. And in client mode or in team building mode, building your own business from home mode, the person who comes to you, the list that you build, the people who come to you that you speak to about joining your team, you really need them to take responsibility for their business, and you need to encourage them to be in that position of taking responsibility. So I'm quite kind of careful with people when I talk to them, regardless of what copy says, because obviously copy says all kinds of stuff. But when I speak to someone, I don't tend to use the phrase, I will take you by the hand and walk with you hand in hand every step of the way, because I've only got two hands. So I think, well, that doesn't really duplicate. So what I say is I'll be there for you every step of the way, because I will, but I'm not going to take you by the hand and do it. You need to actually do some of this stuff, yourself. And when they're in that mode, you have this co-ownership of each other's success. You point them to the tools, and if they're over kind of pushy, you say, no, stop a sec. You've got tools here. And if they don't get it and they keep coming back to you, what I tend to do is I refer them back to themselves. So I say, right, hold a second. in this moment, what are you teaching yourself about your business? So if someone's coming to you and saying, you know, you need to do this for me, and I can't do that, and yes, I'm not going to watch the video, you tell me, you say, stop a second, what are you teaching yourself right now? And quite often, they won't know what they're teaching themselves. And you can say, look, what you're teaching yourself right now is that it's difficult to prospect in business, because typically people aren't this difficult to prospect. And you're being tricky. And when you're teaching yourself that, it then becomes difficult for you to do that. So instead of educating yourself that it's difficult to do business, why don't you educate yourself that it's simple to do business just by pointing people to tools? And the best way to do that is for you to do that. I'm pointing you to a tool now. You go and use that tool. That educates you that it's easy to help other people. And that means when you get started in this, you'll have no problems bringing people in, because you know it's as simple as pointing to tools.
Wow. Rebecca, I've got writer's cramp from taking notes right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fascinating discussion. I'm serious. You know, Rebecca, I love it when you come out here. You are a proven, I don't want to use the word commodity, okay, because you're not a commodity. You're an individual. You're like this. You're epic. But your results are manifest, right? And ladies and gentlemen, this is Rebecca Bardas. You see her all the time. She's a winner. She's a leader. Many people who come on this radio show and make really, really grand contributions are being mentored by her, by you, Rebecca. Sorry for the third-person reference. Rebecca has worked with people. You heard, Brendon Burchard, Anthony Robbins, some of the titans of personal development. And I love this concept right here, okay? I love this idea of use the tools, and you will learn for yourself that it's easy to educate others, refer people back to themselves. What are you teaching yourself? This is profound stuff. This really is way, way deeper than just the words. I hope you guys are listening closely and taking notes. And you're so right. So many people that are in that shining object mode. I never considered this idea of being a co-conspirator and having people who are customers as opposed to clients. And I know that many of us, we're in pursuit of that fast start, and we hear these results, and people are winning cars, and all this stuff is going on. And I know that sometimes your hunger for success, and you want to make that money, and you see so many others doing it. Sometimes, we have a tendency to be like a globber honor. You know what I mean? Like that. Like that person that wanted to date you so badly, you know what I mean? And sometimes we become that individual, right, where we just want the sale and we're willing to compromise and bend, and that's not going to serve anyone. That's what I'm getting from this. Our goal here as leaders is to educate people, not sign them up into a business. It's to give them the benefit of, the skill set and the tools that they will require to not only prosper and succeed, but to empower others to do the same. That's true leadership, right?
Totally.
Rebecca?
I mean, your goal should be to close everyone who's closable, not to close the people who are going to destroy your team, not to close the people that something's not a fit for, not just to make the money today, but to close the people who it's the right thing for, and they're going to take the steps, not the ones who are going to be abusive, but the ones, and sometimes people get on the verge of being abusive, but they're not quite being abusive, but they're not right there. They're still kind of in that employee mindset. And it's perfectly okay to take that leadership stance at that point and say, listen, with the greatest will in the world and with all due respect to you, it feels right now as if it would be better for you to focus on finding a job at this moment. But, stay on my list, keep reading the emails, and check back with me in a month, or I can follow up with you in a month, and we'll see if you're in a different space at that point. But right now, it doesn't feel to me like you're quite in the energy to start a home business, and that's fine. That's fine if you're not, because it's better. Trust me, it is better to let that one sale go temporarily and then keep them on your list and keep sending them training so they learn better. Because Oprah, I think, said, when you know better, you'll do better. So help them to know better, and they come back round. You don't lose the sale. But if you bring them in when they're in that kind of you've got to do everything for me and sort of really kind of grabby mode, if you bring them in when they're in that mode, it's like it only takes one kind of bad apple to spoil the barrel, and it causes problems. Have the confidence in this. And this gives you the confidence because you can buy traffic. It's not like anyone's in lead poverty in this. And if you're in lead poverty, it's because you haven't bought traffic yet. Buy traffic. So you can get out of that lead poverty, grabby mindset yourself so that you're more positioned as a leader. Because guess what? If you lose a lead, you can buy more traffic. Boom. It's cool. It's not like it's going to be. The well's not running dry. It's all there for you. So just be confident and know that it's a privilege. Like every single person listening to this who's building a team anywhere, even if you're not in here yet, but you're looking at it and you're building a team somewhere else, anyone who is building a team, it is an honor to work with you. It is an honor to work with you. Someone out there needs to work with you, and you don't have to beg them to do it. It's an honor to work with you, and it's an honor for you to work with them. And it's that blend of just how awesome is it that we all get to work with each other. Once you get into that energy, it's so much better than this whole kind of how many people can I get thing.
Rebecca, you're taking it to 11 now, and now I see the synergy that when you're calling on Skype. It's all 11s, right? Your phone number on Skype is all 1s. There's 10 ones. I got to figure out a way to get another 1 in there, so it's 11. But Rebecca, you took us to 11 here this morning. I really appreciate everything that you bring to the table. I look forward to those number 1s in there. This morning I said this is either going to be Frank in Myrtle Beach or it's going to be Rebecca from Wilshire. And so I'm so happy to hear from you this morning. And this is awesome stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to Rebecca. She's amazing. And Rebecca, looking forward to hear from you again. I'm going to contact you. I want to feature you on a webinar from time to time. Your information is so profound.
I'd love to do that.
Would you really?
I would love to do that. I love doing webinars. I love helping people and doing webinars and stuff. It's a riot. So I'm more than happy to do that.
All right, I'm going to hold you to it, even if we have to pre-record the webinar, and if is it live or Memorex, but we're going to work together and get some more of this information out there because you are number 11. You are operating off the chart, my friends. Thank you this morning, Rebecca, for chiming in. And happy Thanksgiving, English Thanksgiving, whatever his name was, Guy Fawkes. Happy Guy Fawkes night. Okay?
Thank you very much. Bye for
We'll
now.
talk to you soon. Bye-bye. That's Rebecca checking in from Wilshire, which is right down the street from Stonehenge in England. 9582. Come on out here. You're next. 9582. Are you listening? Hello? Hello?
Hey, Joe. It's Jane again. How are you?
Jane. Is this Jane?
Yeah, from Morehead City. How are y'all doing today?
I'm doing, Jane. How you been? I'm doing good. How are you?
An apology for yesterday. I accidentally hung up on you.
No problem. I saw that on my Facebook.
Okay, good. Listen, I have Amy here, and first time she's heard you all live, and I just wanted to tell you all thank you. It's really great, and I'm really looking for a lot more to happen. Okay.
Well, you're going to make it happen, Jane. You've been loyal. You've been here since the beginning, and you're going to benefit from some of these 50,000 plus emails that we're sending out this evening because I know that you were here in the pre-launch phase. And Amy, listening for the very first time, welcome to our family. Welcome to our Ninja Tribe. Happy to have you here, and looking forward to hearing from you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Follow the leader. Here's Jane, right? She's showing up. She's making contributions. What we call it here is do the thing. If you just do the simple things, you'll have the massive results. Simply. Thank you very much, Jane. Welcome. Thanks for calling in again today. And Amy, you're welcome. Welcome to our family, Amy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. 5082, you're next up in the queue. Good morning. 5082. Hello. 5082. Are you there? Well, we'll move it on. 9201. Good morning, 9201. You're next up in the queue. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, Joe. This is Kara in Austin, Texas.
Kara, let me ask you a question. And I know did you register? Did you personally register for the webinar and watch the video that is there once people register for the webinar?
Well, I'm going to. I have not yet.
Okay.
I heard you say that this morning that there's a new video there that I'm on, so I'll have to go check that out. But
that was the reason I asked. The reason I was asking is I was going to ask you how weird is it to see yourself talking to yourself on the computer screen?
Well, I'll have to find out.
It's way cool. It's way cool. So register, okay?
Of course I will. I'm looking forward to seeing Devon on the webinar tonight. I love his energy and just really. Yeah, he is. He's really awesome. And I just want to, give a shout out to all these powerful women that are coming out here this morning and sharing their wonderful wisdom with everyone. Rebecca is absolutely amazing, and just want to thank her for coming out here and, giving us just a piece of her mind, because it's just phenomenal what she has to offer. And so I just want to thank her for that. And I'm loving this mindset training that we're doing this morning and talking about habits and positive thought. And I came across a quote that I wanted to share. And it's, of course, Mahatma Gandhi has amazing quotes on mindset. And this quote says, keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. Keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. And I just love that, because it's really all about what this industry is about. It's about, positive mindset and positive action and creating positive habits. And, I just wanted to share that. I love the fact that, all of these amazing people come out here in the mornings and share their stories. And it's just such a wonderful, positive community that we're a part of. And it just makes for a good start to the day. So that's really all I wanted to share this morning. I'm going to get in there and register for the webinar and check out what it feels like to be seeing myself talking to myself.
It'll be it's very, very cool. And you do a great job on that video, by the way, Kara. You're welcome. And you're one of the people who keeps it real around here. I really want everyone to know who you are. Kara's a member of the Traffic Control Board, and your visibility will be rising. And, well, there you are tonight. You're on the video that's introducing people and reminding them to come back at 8 p.m. Eastern. And, ladies and gentlemen, Kara was here at the very, very beginning with us, and she has shared her growth and her evolution, making a few dollars and then making a few more dollars. And last week we were talking about a post that you put. You made a $440 day, and you just demonstrate, how simple it really is. I know sometimes you've called in and you're working around the kitchen. I think one time you were making sausage balls or something, but you're doing the thing, right? And you represent, what's possible when you just follow through and do it. And Kara, you were here at the very beginning, and at the very beginning, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we would be here for 3 hours fixing people's websites and fixing their GetResponse. And at the beginning, if you remember, it was just Q&A, and people were, they were excited and passionate, and there were some issues they were dealing with. But isn't it cool how this not only has it morphed into a real personal development experience and a celebration? I said earlier today, the goal here every single morning is to educate, motivate, and celebrate, right? There it is right there. And it really is cool. Like we are having the biggest days ever as far as people joining our company, people attending our webinars, and people coming to our radio show. And it's always celebration, motivation, and education. Don't you love how that thing is feeding itself? And Kara, you are so involved, and you are actually, in a very significant way responsible for a lot of this stuff because you're so cool. Kara, thank you very much. And tell me tomorrow how does it feel to see yourself on TV?
I certainly will. And hey, Richard or Doug or Joe, I can't even think. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Can you tell me real quick, you gave us a website where we can find all of the replays, and I thought that I had bookmarked that website, and I had a team member asking me this morning about that. Can you tell me what that website is again, please?
Well, I don't have, you know what, this is a great question, because I actually have we have a YouTube page, and I don't know, I've got to get a vanity URL so I can send everyone, because the YouTube page archives every single webinar, everything we've done is there. And but we do have Radio Leverage Live, which is a calendar page. But that's just a calendar. It runs through the end of the year. It says every single thing we're going to do, where the URLs are, the telephone numbers for the radio show, the times, the schedules. And those pieces, when you go to Radio Leverage Live, you can actually click a link to a specific broadcast or something that you want to do, and you can forward that link as an invitation to someone. So thank you for an archive for our favorites, right? Our favorite webinars, like right now, I really, really thought the webinar that we did with Darren, the email guy, was really, really cool. And that webinar is parked right now at trafficwebnow.net, like HBO Now, Showtime Now. Yeah, if you ever look on like Apple TV, they've got these new things where it's like you can watch it right now. You don't have to wait for the regularly scheduled broadcast. So trafficwebnow.net has the Darren. That was actually the promotion for the very first ever Traffic Academy professor. And then Traffic Web Live, that will be sitting there right now, and that's for the contest. The one we did this last Tuesday that talks about the car bonus program. And as a matter of fact, we're going to get that one parked 24/7 so people can know exactly how that thing works. And I'll make sure that we get that webinar parked on a unique URL, and I'll get that to you, Kara, okay?
Great. Thank you so much, Joe. I think it was the trafficwebnow.net that I was looking for. I appreciate it.
Okay, you're very, very welcome, Kara. Talk to you soon.
Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And this person here, I actually took him off mute. 6634. We heard some racket in your background. Are you there?
6634. Latchman here.
Hey, Latchman, how are you?
Not bad, Joe. Things are going really great. I got 3 people so far signed up. And I'm still learning, still in the learning curve, one step at a time. As I said, I'm not a computer techie guy, so I'm just doing it one at a time. I'm getting there, yes.
Listen, Latchman, I'm just like you. I honestly, when I do these webinars and stuff, and, before I can start up a webinar sometimes, and this is true, I got to go and look up YouTube. How do I start a webinar? I mean, I use tools. I use the tools in Traffic Authority. It's like the tools are there for us to use. And if you just use the tools, like we just heard from Rebecca, you'll have the results if you use the tools and do the thing, Latchman.
Yes, sir. And I want to thank everybody on the staff, you included, all the ninjas. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, Latchman. Thank you for checking in this morning. I haven't heard from your buddy Carlos. I haven't heard from Carlos this morning, but I know he's listening. Carlos in New York. 6523. You're next up in the queue. Come on out here.
Good morning, Joe. It's Monica live in Portland.
Oh, I love that. Monica live in Portland. And Monica, I don't know if you got that URL yet, but you better get it before somebody else named Monica does. Monica live in Portland.
I'm just setting things up today, I hope.
MonicaLiveInPortland.com.
So I just wanted to say, wow, I am floored with what Rebecca was talking about. She is. I'm speechless. I really resonate with what she says, and I actually have a whiteboard that you're talking about, so I'm going to implement that. I was hoping that we'd know exactly how to get back to this particular radio program because I was driving and I didn't have a chance to take some notes. But I think that was it the RadioLeverageLive.com link that I go to do that?
Well, actually, you go to RadioLeverage.com. Radio Leverage Live is just a calendar page. It's a calendar that shows you every call we do every single day, 6 days a week, the times and the URLs and the telephone numbers, and that's there. But RadioLeverage.com. We're streaming right now live on the internet, RadioLeverage.com. And if you go to your computer any time of the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and put RadioLeverage.com into the URL, the radio replay page comes up. And every single radio show that we have ever done beginning February 2nd is there. Every single one is archived. This radio show, the name of this radio show is Thursday Morning Turbocharge 1105. So if you go to RadioLeverage.com and you like this broadcast, you can look, and there will be the title of today's broadcast is there. That's the date, Thursday Morning Turbocharge, 1105, November 5th. And they will be available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And also, Rebecca, Monica live in Portland. I know you love Rebecca. Excuse me for saying her name there, but I actually am infatuated with her material. She's amazing. So Monica live in Portland, you can go and you can use this material. Like if this is empowering, and I know it's long, we're going to be an hour and a half today, but if people are willing to put in the time, they're going to hear something. They're going to feel something different. Okay, if a prospect is willing to commit to 90 minutes to listen to this broadcast, I promise you that one of two things will happen. They're either going to walk away and say, this isn't for me, it's too out there. You know, you're talking about, really, I'm responsible for my success? Are you kidding me? It's not my fault that I'm failing. It's the president. It's the mayor. It's the police chief. It's my parents. It's my kids. They're either going to fall into that camp or they're going to fall on the other side and say, wow, this is unique. This is a community of people who really, really are supporting each other and digging each other, and there's an income opportunity here, and I want to be here. So use this as a tool. You can download, you can go right now, and this is available for download. And if you know how to edit audio, you can edit out the pieces that you like best. There's a lot of cool things that you can do here. So there it is, Monica Live in Portland. And go get that URL, my friend, before I do. Maybe I'll get it and sell it to you. MonicaLiveInPortland.com.
Hey, thanks so much, Joe. Appreciate everything.
You're welcome, Monica. And keep that whiteboard going, okay? That's going to be cool for you to put your goals on there and put your to-do list and the things you got to do today on that whiteboard. Ladies and gentlemen, the last voice we will hear was Monica, live in Portland. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to join us here this morning. It was an awesome, how do we top this tomorrow? I look in the rearview mirror and I go, man, how are we going to top that tomorrow? And it seems like every single day it gets better and the education is better, the celebrations are bigger. Now listen, here's what I want you to do. Make sure that you are watching tonight's webinar, and I'm going to put out a little teaser here, right? Watch the webinar. At the very beginning of the webinar, when Devon introduces himself, he talks about a college that he went to, and he was the mascot at that college. So the first person tomorrow morning who can come out and tell me the name of the college and the name of the mascot is going to win a very, very cool prize. The webinar is tonight. You can register right now for the webinar. It is at topsecretmeeting.com/. Put in your username. Okay, put in your username right there. Register for the webinar. Do the thing. Post how you're feeling about today's radio show and what you're experiencing on the Facebook page. By doing so, you'll be declaring that you are a leader, and you'll be supporting every single one of us in the community who are relying on each other for support and growth. So do the thing, have the results. Until tomorrow, you guys, we'll be back at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As Frank always says, let's go play in some traffic, but please look both ways before crossing.